What is going on, guys? It is the Mental Health Gamer, and in today's video, I want to talk about the subject of regret. Now, I'm a human being who has experienced many things of regret, so I feel like I have a very good standpoint of which to talk about this subject. Now, regret is something we all have to a certain degree, and to a certain degree where it's unbearable, to a certain degree where it's manageable, and to a degree where you just kind of, that kind of sucked. I wish I wouldn't have done that. But the type of regret I am talking about is deep seated, unbearable regret. Talking about things that you have done and you still think about it to this day, years later. How do we handle that type of regret? Well, some people may say, "Oh, you take this pill and you'll feel better and you'll eventually forget about it." Some people may say, why don't you just drink this beer and you'll forget about it for the moment and then you can just worry about it, tomorrow even worse." And then there's a third group of people that will say you have to confront what your regret is in order to work through it. Now, for me, I went to therapy because I was a bully in high school a little bit. I was kind of a jerk. And, I thought I should take my problems out on everybody else because I had a lot going on at home. And my only source of feeling better was making somebody else feel as bad as I was. And I regret that to this day, and I haven't been in high school in almost 10 years. Of course, what I did was snide jokes. I was always very kind of smart in class, so I'd make fun of people who would get bad grades and be like, huh, huh, huh. And, at the time, we all think we're right. Like, I would rationalize it in my head, oh, they're stupid. I'm trying to tell them that they're stupid, so hopefully they'll make a difference in themselves and actually apply themselves. When really, I was just causing more harm than good. And yes, that stuck with me for a very, very, very long time. I didn't start forgiving myself for that until about last year. So, yeah, it's been a long time brewing. Now, the way I handled that was, well, one, I went to therapy, and that's going to be a common thing in these videos. Just go to therapy. I know it sounds very cliche, but sometimes it's the thing you need to do. Now, I want to go into why would somebody put themselves in a situation and where they have to have regret. I don't think it's a conscious thing. I think sometimes as humans we act out of emotion instead of logic. And by sometimes, I mean pretty much all the time. And yes, every single human being will do something they regret in their life at some point in their life, unless you're a psychopath and, you don't very much have a lot of regrets. But I digress. Most human beings are going to do things they regret. Now, how did I handle my regret of being a really bad person in high school? Well, one, I talked about it in therapy. And I forgave myself for my own actions. And it sounds like a selfish thing to do, especially after you've been such a jerk. But at a certain point, you have to take accountability. You have to possibly even confront those people that you were mean to, or in my situation, confront those people I was mean to and apologize. And I will say this, most of the people I apologized to last year, they were completely fine with it and they actually wanted to hang out. One of them is my friend to this day. And it was such a beautiful thing of healing, and I just thanked them so much for the opportunity of hearing me out. And it was just one of those things where, yes, a weight was lifted off my shoulders because I got to see them in a new light. They got to see me in a new light. They didn't get to see me just being a total jerk. And yeah, that made me happy. So it took accountability, and the forgiveness of oneself will fall into a lot of subjects. But for regret, I think you need to forgive yourself and then possibly seek out forgiveness from the people that you hurt. And yes, I won't sugarcoat it. It's going to be hard sometimes. I got lucky in this situation, but there have been many situations where I haven't gotten lucky, where I've done things to ex girlfriends and I've been very disrespectful and very out of line, and those bonds will never ever heal. Which, at a certain point, you have to accept that. You have to accept that, and you have to forgive yourself. Because if you don't forgive yourself and if you don't accept your past, you're never going to move forward in life. And I know, like I said earlier, it probably sounds pretty cliche, but that's a fact, man. If you don't forgive yourself, you're never going to move forward. Forgiveness means forward. I don't know if I can put that on a t shirt, but that would be cool one day. Forgiveness means forward. Now, everything I've said in this video could pertain to you, or it could not. Maybe you were in a situation where you know the bond and you know the forgiveness you're trying to give yourself feels false. And I think that's a pretty normal thing because every time I try to forgive myself for stuff, it feels very false and undeserving. Well, I just want to sit here and tell you, if you have good morals and if you know I just made a mistake, I'm a human being, I think you deserve to forgive yourself. I don't think you should hold it over your head the rest of your life. I just don't think you should hold regret in your life because you have to also think, that stuff made you who you are today. You may think that you're a bad guy, but your friends and family might think, hey, Adam over here, Adam's pretty cool. Or, hey, Ashlyn is pretty cool. Or, hey, Cassandra, you're pretty cool. XYZ, you know what I'm getting at here. You have this horrible opinion about yourself and this regret that you've been carrying, and most people think you're great. And I think if you see yourself in the viewpoint of how your friends and family and your grandmother, your mom and dad, or whatever see you in, I think you can really just take steps to make things better. I'd like to say I'm not a psychologist, and the Mental Health Gamer channel is a weird channel for me because it's kind of for me as much as it is for you guys. I know I'm not perfect. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not even close to being a counselor or anything like that. I'm just a dude who goes through shit. And, sometimes you can relate to people that just go through stuff. Like I said, man, in some of these videos, I've, done a whole lot of things I regret. And so have you. But does that mean that you don't deserve happiness? I don't think so. Unless you've done something irreparably horrible and there's no fixing it. You did something so bad to the point where, yeah, you deserve to carry that shame with you for the rest of your life. If you can answer that question and be like, yeah, I did something that deserves me being sad and regretful for the rest of my life. If you can answer that question logically and be like, yep, I suck. Okay, maybe you do suck. But if you can answer that question and be like, well, maybe I'm just a human being, maybe I just make mistakes, maybe I'm just human, then I think you ought to get off your case a little bit. That's all I'm trying to say. But just a little quick video here today. I'm not going to harp too much on about this. It's just something I thought about, and maybe some of you guys might find some value in it. If you do, I'd really appreciate it if you like the video and subscribe. And please comment your thoughts down below because I'm I'm a fool and I need people smarter than me to help me understand things better. So, I love you guys. Take care. Peace.